Who do I have with me here today?
My name is Heather Pham. I am a registered nurse, but I focus mostly on energy and emotions and how to get rid of emotions, traumas, grief, anxiety, depression, pain, all kinds of physical symptoms that we have a root cause, which is our emotions that we don't process. So what I do is I help people identify those emotions that they have during any kind of trauma. It could be big trauma or it could be tiny little traumas. So when I release those emotions for people, their symptoms go away. Their symptoms get better. They can manage their life easier. They can manage whatever comes into their life.
Having an emotional trauma inside you is like an infection that you want to get out?
Yes. It is sort of like an infection. So if you have a lot of emotions, say when you were a child and you were abandoned or you were teased or whatever happened to you as a child, and you don't process all those emotions, they're still in your body. We have what's called cellular memory that remembers everything that you've ever done or eaten, or at every face you've met. Your body remembers everything. Your cells remember everything. So all those traumas that you have as a child, and you have all those emotions in you, they didn't go away. They're still in your body. So then when you have, say, an emotion of abandonment as a child, you will collect more of that abandonment as you grow, because you have that emotion in you, so you will collect more of it. So every, moving forward, when you have relationships or any kind of, let's say relationships, if you have a lot of abandonment in you, you will attract people that's going to show you that. The people are reflections of how
Absolutely.
you are on the inside.
Of course.
So if you have a lot of abandonment, then people will come into your life to make that come true for you.
You just triggered. You're already working on me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
What I've developed over the years is that if I can think of a memory and there's an emotional reaction attached to it, I haven't processed it. It's still in me. And if I ever want to revisit that experience, I'm welcome to. And what I did once as a kid, we went to the local fair. My mother and she took me to a fair, and she put me on this ride. It was called the Rainbow. I still remember. So I got up on the Rainbow, and it spun around, and I was having fun. Well, every time I went around, I seen my mom walking away, and then she went around the corner, and I'm getting goosebumps. I remember my mom leaving me, and it was abandoned, and I started crying on the ride. I was scared. What the hell? Why is my mom leaving? And over the years, I've revisited that experience, and I realized, or I got rid of the energy as you're describing. So now I can think of the action or the experience, and there's no emotional attachment because my mom didn't mean it. It was unintentional. She didn't think about what it would do to her son by walking away and going around the corner. So you just triggered that memory,
Yes.
And over the years, I've been able to, I guess, heal or get rid of the energy, if you will.
Yes. So our emotions are energy in motion. If you look at the word emotion, the E is for energy, motion, emotion. So our emotions are energy in motion. If it's not in motion, meaning if you have a traumatic event and you have these emotions and you don't let it go, you don't process it and let it go, it gets stuck. And wherever it gets stuck in your body, that's where the energy blockages happen. So when there's not our energy is life force. If you don't have energy, you're dead, right?
I agree.
So if that area of your body is not getting the energy it needs, it will become, that energy field will become distorted, and it will affect your cells physically. So then you'll have pain, you'll have anxiety, you'll have whatever it is, the symptoms that your body wants to give you.
Can an emotional energy that's trapped in your body, can it cause or be a cause for another issue to be developed?
Yes.
Another injury, if you will?
Oh, yes. So, for example, your back. So, your back. So, anyone that has back problems, your back is your support. So, if you have back issues, most likely you don't have the support system that you want. People in your life, your family, your friends, whoever it is that you need the support from, is not giving you that. So those people will end up with, let's say, back problem. People who have, say, hip problems, are having trouble moving forward in life. Meaning, let's say they had a divorce, and they're having trouble moving forward after the divorce. They might have hip issues.
That's a major thing.
Yes, leg issues or foot issues will be manifested, in those areas. If you had a lot of, say, anger issues, you will have liver issues, because that's where the emotion is stored. If you have, for women who are always taking care of other people, always nurturing other people, always, caring for other people other than themselves, might get breast cancer because they're not caring for themselves. So anywhere that you have issues, will let me know what kind of emotion, a lot of the emotions.
May I ask you, Heather, how did you develop and how did we get to where you're a professional, where you know this, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, so my story is, this book is my story.
Okay. And it's called
It's
Healing Grief, Anxiety, and Fatigue, Two Friends, Two Stories, A Journey of Healing and Resilience.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been a nurse for over 20 years, and I knew everything about the physical, how to heal the physical part. About 12 years ago, I had breast cancer, and when I had breast cancer, I was still, I didn't know how to prevent cancer.
When you find out you had breast cancer, or when you're being diagnosed, when does the emotional energy develop, if you will?
It could be from your childhood, and you carry that, and then you attract more of that. So let's say, if I have emotional, a fear as a child, I will have that fear, and when the doctor tells me that I have breast cancer, I have a lot of fear in me already. So that fear, I will collect more of that feeling of fear because I have that in me. So back to the breast cancer, as I was getting treatments, the radiation, the surgery, towards the end of the treatments, I asked my physicians, what can I do so I don't get the breast cancer again? What can I do, for myself?
Of course.
And they couldn't give me any answers. They couldn't give me any advice on what I can do. I asked them, can I juice? Can I meditate?
Nutrients.
Can I eat right? Can I exercise? What can I do? Because my son was only 2 when I had the breast cancer. It was very traumatic. So it was very, I wanted to live so I can take care of my son.
Of course.
So they couldn't, my physicians couldn't give me any advice on what to do. So I started learning. I started learning on how I can heal me. But at the time, I read all the books I could. I learned everything I could on how to prevent cancer from coming back. So what I learned was all the physical stuff. The yoga, the vitamins, the herbs, the acupuncture, all the physical,
obvious.
Yes, all the physical things that you can do to help heal you. Not until 2021, during COVID, when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, late stages of cancer, and I lost her after 9 weeks. After I lost her, it was devastating because she was very, very close to me. She was the closest person to me. When I lost her, it was so traumatic to where I developed depression.
Of course.
And I didn't know what to do about that. I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew, being a nurse and being an RN and being, learning on how to heal your body physically. That wasn't helping with the depression and the anxiety, and then the panic attacks came after my mom passed. So when nothing was working. When the depression got really severe and the anxiety got really severe, and I would go to my acupuncture doctor and I would say, please, and I would plead, please take this away. I don't want to feel like this.
I can imagine.
So every time I got the acupuncture session, it would go away for about a week, and then the depression came back. It would get worse and worse. The anxiety came, and it would get worse and worse as the days went on. So one day, 6 months after my mom passed away, I had panic attacks where I couldn't leave the house. I was homebound. My son was 10. Not leaving the house is not an option. So I had to find answers. I had to look at why I'm having the anxiety and the panic attacks. And all the physical things that I was doing.
You knew what it was, but you didn't know how to fix it.
At first, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a heart attack.
Okay.
It was that severe, where my heart was just pounding and my fingers were all numb, and I was just,
Again, I can only imagine because I've never experienced it.
It was like a heart attack. So instead of, I knew as a nurse, if I had gone to the doctors, they could only offer me two things, which are medications and therapy. And I didn't want that. I didn't want either one, because I've seen so many patients, don't get well after medications. They actually, their symptoms might get worse. They're not there anymore after they're on
It
those
masks a
medications.
lot.
Yes. So I didn't want that. So then I was led to learning, when I had the panic attack, instead of looking outside for the answer, I started praying and meditating and asking me,
The inside.
why am I having these symptoms? What's the reason why? And the reason why I was having these symptoms, these anxiety symptoms, was when I was meditating. I was brought back to when I was 6 years old. I was born in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, it was very traumatic. It was very.
I can only imagine that.
It was very chaotic and traumatic. So my parents did everything they could so that we could leave the country and have a better life. So they gathered up all the money that they had. It was just enough for my brother and I was 6 years old. So we were put in some stranger's home to await, the fishing boat to be ready to leave Vietnam. And at 6, I didn't know what to do. I was abandoned at 6. So when my mom passed away now, I'm in my 40s. I knew as a nurse, my mom is sick. She's gonna pass away, and she was up there in age, so yes, she's gonna pass away. But that 6-year-old part of me says, no, your mom is leaving you.
It was still trapped in you.
It was still in me. So when my body was so intelligent, it was giving me these symptoms to say, look, take care of that 6-year-old part of you that is not healed. So I went back to fix that, my 6-year-old me. The symptoms got better. The anxiety got better. I was able to leave the house. I was able to get into the car and drive without having panic attacks.
More importantly, you're not putting more on your own son.
Yes. So as I do more, I did hypnosis on myself. I was doing meditations. I was praying. I was asking for answers, and I got the answer, which was abandonment. So when I healed that, the symptoms got better, and I was led to.
That is fantastic.
And initially it was just for me. it was just for me, healing me, you know, how do I heal me? And then once I heal myself, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so good. I can't just keep it for myself. This is not, you know, this is my purpose. This is why I had to go through all of those traumas that I went through, because there's a bigger purpose than there was a reason why I had to go through all those traumas.
Absolutely. And you decided to put this into a book?
Yes.
And all of this is in the book?
Yes. Yes, my story is in the book.
And your co-author? What's the?
Yes. Krista is amazing. She also had some grief. She lost her son when her son was born. So she carried that grief, that feeling of guilt, that feeling of helplessness for 20-something years. Her son passed away at birth. And then her mom passed away recently. So all of the grief that she was carrying from her son has carried, you know, it's been there for 20 years. So it affected her negatively in every area of her life. So until she learned, until I released all those emotions for her, she was having so much grief. So what I want to say is grief, it doesn't have to be something that is recent. It could be years and years and years ago, just like my co-author. Her son passed away 20 plus years ago, and she was still carrying all of that because your body remembers everything. So after I released for her probably 50 emotions from that event, now she's at peace. She feels calm. When she thinks about that event, it no longer bothers her.
It doesn't trigger emotion.
It does. The emotions are the trigger. The trigger for the traumas. But once the emotions are gone, it doesn't bother her. She can think about that memory, just like you can think of the fair now.
I can see it every time. Every time I think I can see it,
yes.
And I'm at peace.
Yes. That's because those emotions are gone, and you've let go of those emotions.
Now, what about trauma physically that was not your fault?
Every single trauma that you have, it could be as simple as someone teasing you, your hair looks funny, or, you know, as a child, or that shirt looks ugly when you were 2. Your body it's a trauma, right? Being teased, being teased or being either physical trauma or emotional trauma, it's a trauma. So when you have all these emotions doing whatever trauma you have, physical or none, or someone else does anything for you, abuse, anything that your body is uncomfortable, your body will react to it as a trauma. So what I'm able to do is I'm able to identify what emotions you trap for that specific trauma. And when I release those emotions for you, those traumas no longer have any kind of energetic charge to bother you, or affect you negatively.
What about sitting at a red light and you get rear-ended and it breaks your back?
Oh yeah, that's a trauma.
That's a major trauma.
That is a major trauma. Surgery is a major trauma. Anything, a cut, a scrape, a fall, all of that are all traumas, because each day we have about 400 emotions. We feel about 400 emotions every single day. That's on a regular.
I didn't know there was 400. I know of 3.
Yes.
Love, irritated,
anger.
400.
What I mean is 400 different emotions. You can feel anger many different times in that same day. So we feel about 400 emotions every single day. That's without trauma. If you have had many traumas in your past, you will carry those emotions in, and you will attract more. You will feel more of those emotions. So it's really hard to process all 400 emotions in a single day. So when you don't process it, it gets stuck. and you add more and more and more and more onto it as you know.
So, since you were able to help yourself and help your friend, you've turned it into a business to help others?
Yes. So I study under Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a chiropractor that came up with this
Okay.
technique on how to heal, how to heal your emotional trauma. He thinks, Dr. Bradley Nelson thinks that 85% of all of our physical symptoms, it doesn't matter what it is, the anxiety, the pain, the autoimmune disorder, whatever it is that your body is giving you, has some kind of emotional root causes to it, with the suppressed emotion that we don't process. So he came up with this technique, and he helps many, many different people. Tony Robbins, he's helped Tony Robbins, with this, and Tony Robbins is very, speaks very highly of this technique. Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks very highly of this technique, and Greg Braden, so many people, speak very, very highly because it is so transformative. It is
That's
so healing.
fantastic. So, you have a workshop going on?
Yes.
Can you tell me more about your workshop?
Yes.
And when is the workshop coming up?
June 18th, in 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks.
Today's June 3rd.
Yes.
Okay, in 2 weeks.
So in 2 weeks, next one, two Wednesdays from now, June 18th at 7 to 9, it's going to be a grief healing workshop where I'm going to be helping people how to shift out of their, if they have anxiety or grief or sorrow or despair or whatever they're feeling.
Diagnose and recognize what's going on.
I actually teach people how to raise their vibrations. We are all energy, we are all vibrations, and each one of the emotions have a vibration to it. Dr. Hawkins, he lived in the 1940s. He came up with
This is the same doctor that
no,
you just mentioned?
It's a different doctor.
Okay.
Yes, it's a different doctor. He's a psychologist.
Okay.
The doctor that taught me is a chiropractor. But every single emotion has a frequency. These are like the frequencies, the energy, the frequencies to it. The lower the frequency, the heavier the emotion. So if you can see, shame is the lowest emotion of all. So when people feel shame, their energy is very low. The next one is guilt at 30, apathy at 50, grief at 75. So the lower your emotion, you don't feel like doing anything.
Ball and chain that's being dragged. You're dragging us ball and chain.
Yes. So what I do is I help people raise their vibrations in a matter of seconds, 10 seconds. They can raise their vibrations. Let's say they're at grief. Most people that come to me are down here. I teach them how to get up here very quickly, easily, because we're all energy, and energy is instant. That's one of my that's one of the things I do, is to help people raise their vibrations. When their vibrations are high, they feel good. They can do things. They just, things will just flow to them, and easily. Their pain goes away, their physical symptoms go away as your vibrations raise.
So you have you have developed a talent to diagnose where someone's at, and then, in addition to knowing where they're at, then you're able to help them rise above it.
Yeah. I don't diagnose, but I identify which emotions they trap for specific traumas or events that in their life that bothers them. Like say someone just had a divorce, right? So divorces cause so many issues. So when I release all the trapped emotions from the divorce, they can see that person without being triggered, because it no longer bothers them. And divorces hurts everyone involved, including kids. So
Including kids, mostly kids.
Mostly kids, yes. And it doesn't affect them. You won't see the effect until they're in college. I've worked with many, many college students that have anxiety and they have no idea why they're having anxiety. And it's because their parents divorced when they're 12, when they're 10, and they've carried all of those anger or resentment or guilt or abandonment. They carry all of those until now they're in college and they have physical issues and they don't know why. So when I release all those emotions for them, their anxieties get better. They can manage their day-to-day life easier. So just
I 100% believe and can acknowledge everything you said is true in my own life.
Yes, everything.
I've paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, my parents never divorced. I mean, they divorced probably 32 years of marriage, and I was in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't affect me in my formative years,
Mm-hmm.
which unfortunately divorces happen when their kids are in their early developing formative years.
Yes.
And it comes back to bite them later.
Yes, it doesn't happen right. The symptoms doesn't come right away. So the parents think, oh, they're okay. They went to therapy and they're okay. But no, the therapy. The beauty of what I do is I can get people out of their traumas in a couple sessions more than what 10 years of therapy can do. College students tell me that all the time. You're better than my therapist, because I get to the root of the issues and then get rid of those issues for them. Now they have no issues.
Well, I mean, therapists are in business to make money. If your incentive is to make money, eventually you're going to fail.
Yes.
But if your incentive is to make the world better and you're trying to help people and you get paid along the way, you're going to stay in business,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yes. So therapy makes you relive that trauma every single time they talk about that. You will relive that same trauma and you will trap the same emotions that you felt at that time. So therapy will, in my opinion, therapy doesn't help, in the long run, because you're making the person relive that same trauma over and over.
Just
over
opening
again.
that scab up more again.
Yes.
Reopening.
Yes. So the beauty of what I do is the client has to do nothing. Like they don't have to do anything, because I will identify what emotions that is. They don't even have to tell me about the trauma. They can just name that trauma. Say, for instance, I worked with someone that had some infidelity issues, and she was embarrassed to tell me about that. So I said, you don't have to tell me about that at all. You just name it. And she named it Nashville. So when I work on her, I ask her, her mind, what emotions she trapped for Nashville. She knows exactly what it is. I don't need to know. So I don't ever have to.
But you found out.
Yes.
How'd you find out?
Well, she told me that's what it was, but she didn't want to tell me any details. I don't need to know details.
Sure, I understand.
And then I worked with another lady that had something happen in college. She's in her 70s now. Something happened in college. She wanted me to work on that, and I didn't need to know what it was. She just said, Eastern.
Nashville, yeah.
Or Eastern, right? That's where she went to college. She just
Associated,
said that.
right, identifying.
Yes. So everything is in your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind collects everything.
I agree,
Keeps
100%.
everything.
I've paid attention. My entire life, I've been developing my awareness.
That's awesome.
My level of awareness has been my hobby,
Yes.
and paying attention to the world. And I freaking still love it to this day.
Yes. I do that too. So that's level of consciousness is what that is. When you're more aware, your vibrations is.
Do you have any questions you can ask me to diagnose me real quick?
I don't diagnose, okay?
Or identify?
Yes, I mean, what would you like me to, what trauma, what's your biggest trauma?
Trauma? My biggest trauma?
Mm-hmm.
A car wreck.
Okay.
Sitting at a light, got hit by a car.
Okay, so I can tell you what you trapped during that, trauma, and
And you don't have to worry about HIPAA and all that crap. right? Because you probably know HIPAA, right? And all
Yes,
that.
yes. I mean, everything that people tell me is confidential. So I don't share names or anything like that, because it's confidential. Okay, so.
Well, this car wreck was public information.
Mhm.
I've suffered pain since then. I want to know, I know this is going to sound silly, okay? I don't want to get too offbeat.
Mhm.
Did I do something in a previous life? Did I do something that I'm going to do to deserve to get my back broke in a car wreck?
Okay.
Did I create that?
Mhm. Did you know that we create everything? Everything that happens to us. Now that you talked about past life, I do a lot of generational trauma release. So we don't just get our hair color and our eye color from our parents. We inherit their traumas too, our ancestors. We inherit a lot of things from our ancestors that we don't know about. As far as the car accident, we are energy. We are an antenna for everything. We are
A receiver.
Yes, we are like walking magnet. So just imagine you are a magnet to whatever it is.
I've been doing it for a long time.
Yes. So if you are a magnet, you only attract things to you that is what is inside of you. So that car accident that you had, you actually called it in. I know you don't like that.
No, I'm listening.
You actually call that in. So people who are in a rush all the time, people who are in car accidents, their vibration is very low. So if your vibration is here, up here, and that person that hit you is down here, there is no way that you will come into contact with that person. So for some reason, maybe your vibration matched that person that hit you. That's why you came into that experience. We are radio receivers. If you tune into 94.9, you will hear what 94.9 has to say. But if you tune into 94.9, you want to hear what 89.9 says, you can't hear, you won't hear it. So we are energy. We are attracting what it is that we are into our life. So that car accident is one, to teach you something. You're rushing too much. You're doing something too much. Your vibration is low. Thirdly, maybe it's something your body is been trying to tell you, but you've been ignoring. So in my case, the cancer came because I was ignoring my body, the signs, the symptoms, the hair loss, the fatigue, all of these symptoms your body gives you, and when you don't fix it, then a bigger problem comes. So a car accident is a big problem. It made you stop, didn't it?
Yeah.
It made you stop because your body was asking you to stop, like slow down, stop, but you didn't listen. So the car accident had to happen so that you will stop.
Tell me more about the previous generations, me inheriting emotional. I'm guessing you're telling me that I have voluntarily or involuntarily accepted the emotional stress from previous family members who have come and gone, if you will.
Yeah, so it's very interesting with generational trauma. So this is my list of generational traumas that I work on for people, 18 of them. Do you believe that everything is connected?
We're all one.
Yes.
You and I'm talking to myself.
I am, yes.
I'm
yes.
talking to myself through you.
That
You're
is
talking to
right.
me through myself. I'm one with the world. That's what I'm
right.
trying to promote to the world,
That
is we are one.
That is right.
I am love.
Yes, that's awesome. That is exactly it. Every single person, every single thing, everybody's connected. That's how I'm able to work on people that are in South Africa. My clients are in Romania. My clients are in California. My clients are in India.
Any
They
in
can be
Vietnam,
anywhere.
back home?
I
Grandparents or anything?
No, they've all passed away. So to your point, everything is connected. I'm connected to you. You are connected to me. So if you don't mind, can I connect to you?
Of course.
When I connect to you.
I want to learn.
Okay. When I connect to you.
I may connect to you too.
We're all connected, but intentionally you can connect to
Okay.
anybody in the world. Have you heard of muscle testing?
No.
Okay, so when something is true and a yes, true, light, love, then your muscle is a little bit stronger. So, like this, my name's Heather. See how I am Heather, right? I'm Dawn. I am not Dawn. I am Heather. I'm Heather. It's true. It's whatever is true for me, whatever is positive, is true, is love, is light. Your muscles become.
I've seen a demonstration where someone's held their hand out and said, "You are blank, blank, blank," and you were able to resist.
That's
And then
right.
as soon as they said something else, and I didn't believe it. I don't believe
You
it.
don't believe it?
I don't believe it.
Okay, you want
Because I can beat you. I'm going to win.
Um,
I'm not. Maybe my mind's not opened enough. I'm not in the right level. But when you tell me I'm a piece of crap and I hold it up, then you say you're loving, I'm still going to hold it up. I can't not do it. I can't not defy you
okay, so let me show you something.
unless I learn something.
Okay, let's okay, so there are many different ways to do muscle testing.
Okay.
So whatever is true, love, light, whatever is true, your muscles will be strong.
I want it to be true,
Okay.
but it's hard to believe.
Okay. Well, first let me raise your vibrations, because if your vibration is lower than 200, the muscle testing is.
I feel like I'm at the highest of my life.
Okay. So the muscle testing is not very accurate when your vibration is very low.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you how to raise your vibrations now. If
Okay.
You don't mind, okay. Okay, I'm going to connect to you if that's okay.
Please. Should I go into a meditative state myself?
You just you don't have to, but you can be like open.
Okay.
Like open, because your mind, what I'm going to be getting from the answers is from your subconscious mind.
Okay.
So just be open. Your
That's what I
intention is
want.
super powerful, right? Okay. Can I work on behalf of Dawn now? So look at my finger. So can I work on behalf of Dawn now? So yes.
Yes.
So you're giving me permission to work on you. Dawn's higher self, what are you vibrating right now? Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. So see where it stopped? That's where you're vibrating at, is 1,200, which is awesome. Yes, that's why you feel so good, right? You feel, because that's enlightenment. That's like, that's really high.
That's what I try every day.
So, what did we just say, 1,200? Okay, so 1,200 is where you're vibrating right now. Would you like to go higher?
Please.
Okay.
I want to see God.
Meditation will.
I try. I've been meditating for 20-some years.
Okay, I've been meditating every single day.
You know TM?
Yes.
I'm a
yes.
TMer.
Oh, that's awesome. So now, you can see God if you want to.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But, I mean, I know the ideal idea that I've been taught is, you're going to see light and you're going to go through the tunnel and you're going to see the brain of God or God himself and all. And I think that's all
God
human.
In me.
Yes.
We're all connected, right?
What I've developed myself, and this is going to sound out there.
That's okay. I am.
This is out there, okay?
Okay.
God created you. God created that.
Mm-hmm.
God created that. And all 9 billion people who are alive on this earth, and everyone who's ever lived, God did it all for me.
That's right.
You're alive, right? You're alive right now for me.
That's right.
You went through your traumas for me.
So you can learn something, yes.
For me. That, to me, is the most powerful and imaginary I can get to, is that everything is here for me.
That's right. That's right. So the first thing for people to heal is acknowledgement, and they can't be in the victim mode. When they're in the victim mode, they don't take responsibility for their healing. So acknowledgement is the very first thing, and then, start to learn how to get healed. But anyway, so let's go back to the vibrations. So to raise your vibrations, the only thing you need to do is think of 5 things that you appreciate and one person that you love, and just feel that love in your heart. When you're done, you let me know.
Who or what or?
Anything, your pet, your, anything.
Does it have to be one living organism? Is that what you're asking?
No, I just want you to feel the love in your heart and 5 things you appreciate. Appreciations has a very high vibration, even higher than gratitude. Because think of this, when you are grateful for something, someone has to do something for you to be grateful for. But you can appreciate my book. My book doesn't need to do anything for you. You can appreciate this plant. It doesn't need to do anything for you. So the vibration of appreciation is higher. It's one of the highest ones. Even higher than love. And, it's very high. So 5 things you appreciate in your mind, and then one person or thing that you love.
Okay, I have 5 things.
Okay, and one person that you love?
My mom.
Okay. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Am I still connected to Dawn? Yes, I'm still connected to you. So wherever I stop, that's where you are vibrating. Dawn's higher self, what are you vibrating right now? 1200, 13, 14, 1500, 1600, 1700, 1800, 1900, 2000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,000. 2500. So you went from 100 to 1200 to 2500 in a matter of just a few seconds. So what I teach people is to do that often. Do that the first thing in the morning when you wake up. That sets your whole day. Your vibration is high the whole day. So when your vibration is high, you can do extraordinary outcome. You can do things. The right people will come into your life. The things just flow and things just come to you. That's when you can manifest whatever it is that you want. You have to be up high. A lot of people try to manifest when they're on the lower vibration.
Is there a timeline, or is there a requirement to be at that a longer amount? Let's say you're at a higher thing, the more often you are,
the better it is.
the better it is.
Yes.
And so the best thinkers in the world who have been pursuing this, what do you call them? Gurus, people who have done nothing but think and meditate their entire lives.
The vibration is so high.
Right, and they say that you can walk into a room
And
you'll
intoxicated.
feel
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So you're telling me that the more I maintain 2500, the more you'll be able to observe my enlightenment, my vibration.
So we are all energy. When I am here, you are absorbing my energy and I'm absorbing yours. So if your vibration is high and mine is higher, you will either have to go up to meet me, or I have to go down to meet yours. Otherwise, we're like radio stations, right? So what I love about my work is I raise vibrations for people. I help people raise the vibrations. I release all these negative emotions that they have. Their vibrations are naturally high after that. And when it's naturally high, they don't have to do anything for their family to heal, because just them being there, their family's vibrations will raise. So when a person heals, when a person comes to me for healing, they're not just healing themselves. They're healing 7 generations back, 7 generations forward. So they're not just doing the healing for
Why
themselves.
7? And how do you know?
How do I know? I mean, that's what most of the people are saying, 7, but I believe more, because when we are living in different timelines all of the time, and whatever we do now affects everything. Everything backward, everything forward. People just throw out 7, I don't know why, but I believe more, because what I'm doing now, when I heal myself now, my past me is also healed. My future me is also healed, because now it's different. So now that's why so many people are interested in healing, because they want.
But all I did was think of 5 people.
Mm-hmm. You see
What benefit I think of 5 people on a regular basis? I don't have an emotional attachment to them, but the 5 people I thought of, I have an emotional attachment to. So you're saying every morning wake up and think of just those 5 people?
No. Anything that you appreciate. Your coffee, your car, your home, the lights, electricity, whatever it is. 5 things you appreciate.
Become more aware.
Yes, appreciate it. Just say, I appreciate my car. I appreciate my warm bed. I appreciate my warm coffee. Because that appreciation will raise your vibrations, like what we just did. It raises your vibrations. So all day long, you are there.
So in simple terms, the more I appreciate, the higher my vibration goes up.
That's right. When you buy a house, what happens when it appreciates?
Banks get richer.
Well, when you sell it, you make more money, right? It appreciates, it goes up. So the same thing with our feelings. Whatever feelings, the good feeling, right? When we appreciate it, it goes up higher. So I teach people to do that in the morning, because morning is really important. Like the first 5 minutes of the morning, your brain is still in that sleepy state. When you do that, that will affect your day positively the rest of the day. And I tell people, if they have a job that's stressful, right before you walk into work, do that. 5 things you appreciate in one person that you love. Right before you walk into your home, if you're home, after work, and do that. And do that right before bed. When you do that right before bed, your vibration is so high, you will dream of things. You will have answers. You will get whatever.
TM, I was trained
Mm-hmm.
in Transcendental Meditation.
Yes.
And it's 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. Can I ask you your opinion? Because humanity, for a third of our life, we go to sleep every night.
Yes.
Where do we go when we go to sleep? What awareness? Where the hell do we go? Do you know?
We do many things during sleep. You can go to different realms. You can go. You have dreams.
Well, first of all, we're forced to sleep. I don't get a choice, and every night we go to sleep. So the Creator, if you will, forces us to go wherever we go every night.
No.
Where do we go? Because you can't sleep. You can't go a week without sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
God, Creator, whatever you want to call it, makes us go to wherever it is. My body lays on the bed. Objectively, you can put a camera on me. But in my mind,
it's still going.
I have dreams. I have nightmares. I have ideas. Where is that consciousness? Where's my consciousness gone?
It's still there. You still, when you're sleeping, because you're sleeping, you think that you're not there. Like, let's say parents, right? Parents who fight, if a child lives in a home that the parents fight, and the parents, when the child goes to sleep and the parents still fighting, guess what? The subconscious mind of the child is still absorbing all of that in. So our subconscious mind is always awake, is always there. As far as going, I believe that we go to different realms. That's why you have dreams. Sometimes dreams are so real to you. Sometimes dreams that makes no sense to you, because you're going to a different reality when you're sleeping. So that's my belief.
If we're all one,
Mm-hmm.
my mom is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother is right there.
They are, yes.
They're just not here in physical.
They're not in the
I
physical.
talk to my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to grandmothers.
Yes.
They're here now.
Yes, they are.
When I go to sleep, Am I in the same world as them, or is it a different world?
You get the choice. You can choose. So before you go to sleep, if you want to go somewhere, you just mentally repeat that, and you might go there, wherever it is that you want to go. So yes, the reason why, so you know everything is energy. Einstein says it. Everything is energy. Albert Einstein says everything is energy. That's all there is to it, right? So when is your mother still here? I mean, your mother passed. So your mother, when we pass, it's just our physical body is gone, but our energy is still there. Our energy is still there. That's why mediums can connect to your loved ones and give you messages. And I do that too. I can connect to, I can channel too. The reason why we are not aware, like we're not seeing them on a physical level, is because their vibration is so high. After they leave this body is very dense, very heavy and dense. It's
That's an understatement.
It's made like that because the Earth, the 3D world is very dense. So because we are so dense in energy, that's why you see the hand. If I'm not dense, you won't see my hand.
There's some people who can say that they can put a knife through their hand without bleeding.
Everything is energy. But anyway, so your mom is here, yes. You cannot see her because your vibration is here, her vibration is here, so that's why we are not able to see them on a physical level. But it's very simple. You can just, your mind, your third eye, you can just put attention to your mom and you will get messages from her.
If we're all one, like you and I admit or discovered,
yes.
Is there only the other side? We live in a dichotomy world.
Yes.
On, off, red, white, black, green, whatever, male, female.
Mm-hmm.
That's
dual.
Mm-hmm. If we're all one,
mm-hmm.
my mom's just on the other side.
Yes.
There's only one realm. There's no other realms, or there's no other worlds, right? It's either you're on this side, my mom is observing.
She's watching.
She's watching and she's observing,
mm-hmm.
as well as all of my
ancestors.
Because we're all one.
That's right.
It just happens to be a bloodline,
mm-hmm.
but it's no different. You're no better than me, and I'm no better than you. We're one.
Right. That's right.
But you're saying there is only the other side.
So the other side is, so there are different dimensions of reality. We are in the third dimension, which is now here on Earth. That's third dimension, very dense, very slow. Everything is slow. Things don't just come to you. And then there's the fourth dimension. A lot of people are living in fourth dimension now because they have raised the vibrations. The whole planet's vibration has risen. I know so because everybody that I worked with, I have raised the vibration so high. Everything is a vibration. If you want to see your mom, you have to be on her vibration to see her. So to me, there's no this side or that side. It's just vibration. You raise your vibrations up high, then you will get that information that you are looking for. So when I channel, I raise my vibrations, then I get the messages from whoever it is that I'm talking to.
And before we started, we were speaking about frequencies.
Yes.
And, you know, the bells in churches were designed that when you hit them, they put off a frequency of love, of
mm-hmm.
community. 432 megahertz or whatever, I don't recall what.
432 hertz.
432 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
So these bells were made to pass love.
Yes.
And you recognize in our society, they've taken all the freaking bells.
Yeah.
How many frequencies are there? How do we measure? How do I get up to where my mother is, if you will?
So first off is all of those lower emotions that you have for every single trauma is keeping your vibrations down. So once you heal a lot, then you will raise, your vibrations will naturally be raised. So let me just give you an example of this young lady. So she came to me because she lost her husband, and she was distraught, and we started in November. So she was distraught, anxiety.
At a low frequency.
Yes. So look where her frequency was when I first started. When she lost her husband, she started at 100. Look where 100 is, right between
I can
grief,
imagine.
right? Fear.
Lost your life partner.
Yes. So after I released 49 emotions, look where her vibrations
1,000?
went 1,000, right? And look at the next time. Keep looking at the next
1,300.
time, right? She started at 700. She's no longer at 100, right? And then the next one.
And she acknowledges this herself?
Yes. So look where she is now. So this was just yesterday. She's at 91,000 to 94,000.
And you're the authority to measure that?
So muscle testing, when I get the answers from the person, when I connect to them, I'm getting the answers from them. So whatever I'm getting, it's not from me. It's from that person that I'm working on. So for this lady, what made her vibrations raise so quickly, so much?
To get rid of the emotional energy.
It's the generational trauma that I worked on her.
Okay.
So look at generational trauma. So in May, I released these generational traumas from her. Terrorism from her mom's side, 6th generation. Domestic violence, 5 generations on her dad's side. So what that means is she has been carrying all of that for all of her ancestors, all 5 generations. When I released that, there were 82 trapped emotions for her and her ancestors. Look at where her vibrations went, 41,000 to 59,000. So now she has no more of those generational trauma. That's like
Sure.
That's
fantastic.
yes.
That's fantastic.
So now she's at 91,000.
That's extraordinary.
Yes. So now anything that happens to her, she gets out of it quickly. Things that used to bother her for weeks or months, now no longer, like whatever, we're humans. We are going to have things that happens to us every single day. But now she gets out of it just like that. I wanted to show you a few other ones. This other gentleman, so again, when I worked on him, abandonment. His father left their family when he was 6. He trapped 123 emotions from just that trauma. Abandonment.
I can imagine.
43 times he trapped abandonment, despair, depression, grief.
So the sessions that you provide, how does that side work, if you don't mind? For anybody who's watching and understands and wants to do it, how does the sessions happen? Or
so energy is there's no time or space that affects energy. So when I work on someone, it's all remote. I don't see them. I don't have to see them. You don't have to be here. Like I said, my clients are in other countries, and it works just the same because we're all connected. So when I connect to them, I will release whatever their subconscious mind tells me that they trapped during that trauma. So when I release them, that trauma no longer bothers them.
there's a business side to this, correct?
Yes.
How's the business side work?
What do you mean? Like people just
Are you doing it for free?
No, I'm not doing it for free.
Okay, you're not
Because
doing it.
remember,
And that
everything
gentleman
is
there,
energy.
that gentleman had to pay you.
Yes.
How does the business side of that work? Does he send you a credit card? Do you charge on a session? How can someone observing get your services?
Okay, so what they can do is go to traumarelease.us. That's my website.
Trauma Release .us.
Mhm.
They can buy a book.
My books are on Amazon. They can just look up my name, Heather Pham, Pham is my last name. Heather Pham, Pham.
And then she'll be on my website, iamlakeland.com, under authors as well.
They can get that on Amazon, and if they want to work with me, they can just contact me, text me. My phone number's on
So they
my
call
website.
you.
They call me and we'll talk. So typically I would do 2 sessions a week. I would release 2 traumas a week. It does take a little bit of time for that person to process those emotions that I release, because I release hundreds at a time. So I give them a little bit of time to release.
And you charge them like per session, or how are they charged in the financial world?
So when I work on people, I would like them to commit to at least 4 weeks at a time, because our emotions are put down in layers. I have to take it out in layers. If you trap 100 emotions of, say, grief, I have to release each one individually, because each one was put down individually. So every single emotion that I release is that very specific one, and when I release it, it's gone forever. So 4 weeks is when what I ask people to work with me at least 4 weeks. In a 4-week session, I will release about 1,000 or more emotions for people. They will feel more at peace, they will feel more calm, they will feel more happy, they will feel more joyful, whatever it is that they want.
Raise their vibration.
Their vibrations are naturally high. Like for this young girl, she only worked with me for a month, and look at where she started. Her vibration started at 200, and after the session, it went to 1,000.
And how many sessions was that over?
For this,
Just an example.
so 2 times a week is
For
2
4
sessions.
weeks?
2 sessions a week, so about 8 sessions that I would like people to commit to, because if I do 1 session, you might not feel you might not feel the transformation that you want.
Should they
with that
contact
session-
you for prices, or?
It's on my website.
It's on your website,
Yes,
okay.
everything's on my website. With the exception of single session is the grief. I will do grief release for people for like one session, but if they want more other traumas to get released, then they have to work with me a little
Sure,
longer.
that makes sense.
But the grief, I can get people out of grief in 1 session. I mean, look at.
And do you typically identify grief as lost someone that you love very much?
Lost someone, lost a house in a hurricane, lost a pet, lost a divorce, lost a relationship.
So it doesn't have to be a living organism.
No. I mean, there's so much grief everywhere, right? Losing your house is grief. People who are in the fire in California.
I associate grief with human loss or living loss. I don't associate it with grief. I'm like pissed. If it was my house, if I lost my house, I'd be pissed. Grief seems emotionally attached to living things to me.
Well, I get grief for people depending on, if they have a lot of grief, they're going to attract more.
How would you define grief, if you will?
Grief is like sorrow, despair, that you just can't get that feeling out, feeling bad, feeling guilt, for that loss, whatever that loss is. And it doesn't have to be a person. You can have a loss of things that you are attached to. If you're attached to your house and you lose it, you will feel grief.
Yeah, it seems like grief is a much bigger definition than what I give it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just haven't done that.
Yeah, so a lot of people think grief is losing, a loved one, but it could be, I have seen it on, different sessions for
Sure,
people.
I can understand that, yeah.
That they
So
release.
the website to visit is trauma, TRAUMA, release, RELEASE.US, to speak with. And tell me one more brief thing about this workshop that
Okay.
you guys can, because we're gonna release this before then.
Yes.
And within 2 weeks, June 18th, 7 to 9, where's it at?
It's about 2 minutes south of here at Crystal Gaze in the Flow, at the Crystal Shop down on Frank Lloyd right way.
Okay.
2 minutes from here.
Do they need to register or anything? Is it a free event?
No, it is not a free event. To pre-register, it's $100 a person. At the door, it's $125 a person, and that will get you out of grief. Like, if you are done suffering from grief of a lost loved one, it doesn't have to be a recent loss. It could be years ago.
Yes.
If you are ready to release that and get rid of it and feel more joy, peace, calm, and I can do that in one session. So what I do in the workshop, this upcoming workshop, is I will teach them how to raise their vibrations. I will teach them ways on how to release, their grief on a physical level. And then what I will also do is, after the class, or maybe, during the week, I will personally do one grief session for them. And my single grief session that I do for people that doesn't come to the workshop is $247.
Okay.
And I will release that for them. So if they come to the workshop, it's $100, and they will get that, and they will also get.
You'll
all
get
my
your
teachings.
value.
Yes.
You'll get more than your value.
Yes, they will get a full session that I will do to release their grief. They will feel instant joy and peace and calm, and all that. Those guilt will be gone. Let me just.
Let me ask you more about this book real quick.
Yes. That is How to Heal Trauma. So I wrote that specifically I was working with so many women that were in narcissistic relationships, divorces. So I thought, okay, I'll just have a book for them to read.
Fantastic.
But it focuses the same things what I do, but it focuses on the divorce and narcissistic relationships. But this one is specifically on grief. And this one is really good because Krista, my co-author, she focuses a lot on the physical, the detoxing, the vitamins, the physical part. She does some energy healing too, but I focus more on the energetic part, because we are 99.9% energy. So to heal anything, you can't ignore the energy part. And all these emotions cause energetic blockages in our body, and when it's blocked, your body will have problems.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Heather, thank you for your time.
I can talk to you for a couple more hours.
Absolutely, I could too.
Yes, let's do it. And you can do it part 1 and part 2.
There you go.